Hi folks, piece of 10 by 8 inch 3mm MDF, given it a good coat of gesso and a bit of burnt umber acrylic mixed in, so I hope it's impervious. You probably could do with a coat of PVA glue, but I haven't time for that for the moment, so we'll see what happens. I wanted to, we went on the bike ride yesterday, so I didn't do any painting. And we always go along the boardwalk, which is a beautiful bridge going through the wetlands in Malden Hall Park. Absolutely gorgeous, and the reed grass is up above our heads, above where the agency have cut back. But there's a pond, and it's surrounded by boardwalk one side, and the rest is just this lovely thatching marsh grass. But I want to do something with the marsh grass, but it's a sky. I'll show you. My daughter sent me this photograph. It was of Ranelagh Common near Dorking. She looks out of a window up at this. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to do a different type of sky. I'm going to try to do a one with a bit of pinky sky. I was just trying to find a decent brush. I want a flat. That's a bright. Let's see what the flat is. Yeah, that's a flat. You wouldn't think so, but I'm going to use. I've got cadmium red, ultramarine, burnt sienna, a bit of Payne's grey, cadmium yellow pale, and some yellow ochre. I better put out some white. I just used Griffin white for this. I just scraped off yesterday or Monday's bits. Is probably drying a bit now with that lovely Griffin orchid based titanium white. So I'll be a bit sparing with it because it's quite expensive. So if you want to contribute towards my channel, my Patreon channel, help pay for the materials, be very much appreciated. That's if you like my work. Thank you. Right, okay, enough of that. This is a nice. That's a bright. I bought this because of the size, but I don't like short hair brushes really. I do prefer the ones with a bit of scope. Right, okay. So we've got some oil, got a bit of yellow, and a touch of ochre. See, not bright enough for this, but a bit of yellow with that. Yellow and red would be a bit of a better option. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've got some ultramarine out there, but the sky is more cerulean. I've got some cerulean somewhere in my box here. It's been in this Winton oil tube for years. Probably bought it 20 years ago, and I'll have to use my pliers just to undo the lid. It'll probably shatter. No, it hasn't. I'll put this out so that you use this instead of the ultramarine, maybe a bit of it. It's a little bit stiff. Well, you would be if you've been dead for 20 years. Look, it's solid around the lid. Okay. Right, I need a bit of cloth to clean my brushes on. Touch of red, bit of that white. Let's get that in. I'm not copying the sky, I'm just using it as a reference for the colours. There's not really as pink as I would like, but let's get some of that over there. I'll invent a landscape. Okay, now let's get in some of that cerulean. A bit of white with it. Just brighten up a bit. Should have put that on first really. But this will dry fairly quickly, so we should be able to paint over it. Right, okay. Let's get a bit of shadow, cloud shadow in there. Bit of blue, bit of red, bit of white. So a bit of undercloud there, cloud shadow. Okay, that's gosh, a long time since I've done something like this. Let's just get that reddy blue, plenty of colour in that. My brush stuck in the thickened linseed. Right, okay, let's go back and do some of that. That's probably going a bit tacky now. I'll get it a bit darker. These are only student quality colours, but they do. I think it's not the pigment that's it's the amount of oil they put in the tube. If you want artist quality, well, you're going to have to pay for it. I can't get that glow really, but give that brush a good clean in my toweling. And bit of pink over there. Alright, then we get some grey back in there. It's just with the red and the ultramarine. Try and blend that cloud shadow. Otherwise it's all light and no dark contrast. Alright, let's get a really good light in there now. Touch of yellow and that red. Blends in gently. So when you're working photographs, you have this tendency to copy. So just add a little bit of a light in here. We'll get that bit of that cerulean. Any more blue there, that's a bit of blue in there. Right, well we'll let that go. Now we're going to put in a bit of background. I'm looking over the marsh grass and the water meads. Well, let's do a bit more of this. Any of you bought one of those star scope binoculars yet? I've got one on order. Hasn't come yet, it's been about 10 days. But they did say that they could take up 21 days because of the volume. Well, they're advertising everywhere. So I'm looking forward to sitting out in my garden and looking at the moon and Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, see what it will do. I've got a big 6-inch reflecting telescope which I made, well I made the mirror about 45 years ago, but it's too heavy to cart around, so and they're much smaller, more compact, the machine made ones. I'd like to get rid of it. Right, okay, so that's the sky. So let's get a bit of contrast against that sky. So My favourite colours are blue, red, yellow for greens. You get some lovely greens mixed with these colours. So let's get a bit of the red of that sky. Now the trees at the moment are still just growing their leaves, so we'll just make up something. So we're looking over the marsh grass. I thought I'd go up the hill. Downhill's better. I want a flat horizon on this. I've put the Payne's grey out, I don't suppose I'll use it. But the boardwalk, Malden Hall Park, south east London or north east Surrey, it's on our bike ride. Well, it's not far away from here. So we've got all these trees on the horizon hiding houses. It's quite thick, this gesso. I'm not going to overdo it. Now I'll get my brush, what does marsh grass. This one here, large one. So let's put out some more Griffin. Oop, I need to put out on the picture. Right, plenty of oil, bit of ochre. We're looking over the pond now to because I've done this lots of times, well, very similar to it. But as I keep mentioning, they all end up different. So don't worry about repeating yourself. It's all good practice. I don't know if anybody watched the roast show on yesteryear. It was on the it was on Freeview. A gorgeous American painting turned up. It's an artist, I can't remember his name now. It was probably about 14 by 10 oil painting, done plein air. And the artist came from Cape Cod on the east coast of America. And he stood out in a snow scene and painted the sort of buildings and village, and it was so simply done. It was like an American version of a Sir Catherine Williams painting, which is absolutely gorgeous. It was, I can't remember what it was worth, a lot of money. It was the turn of the century. I think he died around 1960, so after a longish life. Let's get a bit of that colour, I think, a bit of orange in there. because, whoops, I'll change that. Try and get that tint of pinky colour. Right, okay, let's go in some sienna now. This is the easy bit, but it took me a while to do this. So what you've got at the base of the ochre colour, light ochre stalks are sort of dark where they go in the water. But I don't think I'll show the pond, but well, nice and so I quite like that. Bit of colour harmony, and as we come into the near bit, we can mix a bit of burnt sienna, bit of Payne's grey, and you get burnt umber. Yeah. And you just work away at it. Look, I'm not doing any detail. I'm creating an illusion of detail. And at the bottom of that, let's just come that up there. We can go back with the lighter colour over that. But I do love doing these. There were a bit more Payne's grey to that, bit of oil, and then now we're going into the base of these. Maybe I will put a bit of a pond there. I mean, the pond is there, but this is supposed to be a sky painting. If I didn't have to travel so far to the countryside, I'd probably do some plein air. But I've always been with my wife when I've done outdoor painting mostly, and she can't read a book all for days on end. Let's get some, clean that brush. We'll get that get that down there. Right, let's get a bit of light colour. Now, we just drag down, give it a bit of towel. Okay, well that's more or less all right. Now we'll just put a bit of light back in over that to get these nice colours, bit burnt sienna. Love burnt sienna. But burnt siennas vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. I use the Winston Newton, because it's a dark red. But look, you don't need burnt umber. Look, we've made burnt umber with a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of the stuff. Right, that's a pretty little picture, isn't it? Right, I think I'll leave that. I'll put it in the frame. So bear with me. Let's dismantle. I save that for tomorrow. I'll do one for you tomorrow, I hope, and one for my patrons. Right, I haven't left the room. Just on here. Just pop it in and a couple of pins. Oh, where's my other pin gone? Well, there we are. I've done it because my daughter kindly sent us photographs of her bike ride yesterday about 6ish, where there was all the light, fading light. Yeah, okay, that'll do. These could be a bit darker on the horizon, there's a bit of silhouette, but I don't really want to ruin the picture. I think it's quite a nice little picture. You might think otherwise. Anyway, stay safe, folks. I'll get this uploaded and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.